Hello, and thank you for joining me in prayer today. At First Lutheran Church this fall, we are praying for revival. We are praying for revival in ourselves, in God's church, in our communities, in our homes, and in our workplaces. Like Psalm 119:45 says, "Revive me, O Lord, according to your word." Today we're going to enter into the story of the road to Emmaus. You can choose to either close your eyes and listen to the story, or you could follow the words on the screen, whatever works best for you. That same day, 2 of Jesus' followers were walking to the village of Emmaus. It was 7 miles from Jerusalem. As they walked along, they were talking about everything that had happened. As they talked and discussed these things, Jesus himself suddenly came and began walking with them. But God kept them from recognizing him. He asked them, "What are you discussing so intently as you walk along?" They stopped short, sadness written across their faces. Then one of them, Cleopas, replied, "You must be the only person in Jerusalem who hasn't heard about all the things that have happened there these last few days." "What things?" Jesus asked. "The things that happened to Jesus, the man from Nazareth," they said. "He was a prophet, and he did powerful miracles, and he was a mighty teacher in the eyes of God and all the people. But our leading priests and other religious leaders handed him over to be condemned to death, and they crucified him. We had hoped he was the Messiah who had come to rescue Israel. This all happened just 3 days ago." Then some women from our group of his followers were at the tomb early this morning, and they came back with an amazing report. They said his body was missing, and they had seen angels who told them Jesus is alive. Some of our men ran out to see them, and sure enough, his body was gone, just as the women had said. Then Jesus said to them, "You foolish people, you find it so hard to believe that all the prophets wrote in the scriptures. Wasn't it clearly predicted that the Messiah would have to suffer all these things before entering his glory?" Then Jesus took them through the writings of Moses and all the prophets, explaining from all the scriptures the things concerning himself. By this time, they were nearing Emmaus and at the end of their journey. Jesus acted as if he were going on, but they begged him, "Stay the night with us since it's getting late." So he went home with them, and they sat down to eat. He took the bread and blessed it. Then he broke it and gave it to them. Suddenly their eyes were opened, and they recognized him. And at that moment he disappeared. They said to each other, "Didn't our hearts burn within us as he talked with us on the road and explained the scriptures to us?" And within the hour, they were on the way back to Jerusalem. They found the 11 disciples and the others who had gathered with them, who said, "The Lord has really risen. He appeared to Peter." Then the 2 from Emmaus told their story of how Jesus had appeared to them as they were walking along the road, and how they had recognized him as he was breaking the bread. It's a long walk home from Jerusalem, but you're glad for the exertion. The physical work of actually walking might ease just slightly, but pay attention to the harder work that's going on inside you today. It's the work of grief. You lost a friend just a few days ago. Not only a friend, but your leader, your beloved teacher. And he simply didn't die. He was executed in the most torturous, shameful way. You've seen a lot in your lifetime. but the memories of Jesus' ordeal are forever branded into your memory. You close your eyes and you see blood. You go to sleep but dream about someone suspended, gasping for air. At least your friend is with you. Both of you followed the teacher with equal conviction and enthusiasm. So you bear your grief together now. As you walk through the long, rainy afternoon, you encourage better memories of all that the teacher said, of the people you know whom Jesus healed. You can't seem to stop talking. Although several times one or both of you must stop talking because you must cry for a while. The stranger joins you while you're still several miles from home. Within moments, it's clear this person has no idea what has been going on in Jerusalem. With great heaviness and some annoyance, you fill in the barest details for him. All you have to say is crucifixion. And anyone in Roman territories knows exactly what you're talking about. But the stranger engages in the conversation with great energy. He must be some kind of teacher because he launches into an explanation of how Jesus' fate is actually a good thing and the proper fulfillment of what was predicted long ago. This is fascinating. You and your friend are all ears. Before you know it, you've arrived at your home and it's getting dark. You invite the stranger to have supper with you and spend the night rather than risk injury or other some misfortune while on the road at night alone. Also, you want to hear more of what he has to say. He graciously accepts your offer. The first thing you do upon entering the house is prepare the evening meal. The three of you sit down to eat. Then the stranger takes the bread and blesses it. You feel a strange energy move through you and hover in the room. Where have you heard this sort of blessing before? Spend some time just thinking, where have you heard this sort of blessing before? The stranger hands each of you a piece of bread. You take it, and the memory washes over you of a hillside with thousands of hungry people, of a few loaves and fishes being transformed into an instant to miraculous abundance. Suddenly it is clear who this man is eating at your table. You look into his face. What do you see? What is his expression? What do you feel? And what do you know in the truth of your heart? Your friend has barely gotten the words out. Why, it's the Lord, when the stranger vanishes. The room still feels strangely warm, and there are waves of that energy like lightning sparkling all over the room. You and your friend stare at one another, and finally you say, weren't our hearts on fire when he explained the scriptures? Didn't we know something even then? We just couldn't identify it. You finish your meal. What a healing pleasure to eat the bread blessed by those hands. But then you look at each other and know what you must do. You head back to Jerusalem. You have to tell Jesus' other followers who are still there in the city. take some time and think about what is your conversation like on the way back? And spend some time in conversation. You're traveling at night, something you never do for safety's sake. What does it feel like to be on the road at such a strange hour? What thoughts keep running through your mind on this journey? Talk to Jesus about how your perspective has changed now that you've met him resurrected. Now, listen to what Jesus has to say to you. And when Jesus is done, and you're done, simply say amen.